Now, the Valley's top teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
A teacher's goal is to often get students ready for the next level of education. Well, one Killen teacher's passion is to also get them ready for the real world, the adult world. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher, Mrs. Catherine Graves from Brooks High School.
Meet Family and Consumer Sciences teacher, Mrs. Catherine Graves.
I went into teaching because of several teachers that I had in the past that I really looked up to, and I wanted to be like them and make an impact on students the way that they did on my life.
Her passion for family and consumer sciences began as a high school student.
I just really loved the subject matter, and I loved the fact that kids were learning real life skills like cooking and balancing checkbooks and taking care of babies and sewing and all those things.
And her love for the subject extends far beyond the four corners of her classroom.
This is our classroom garden, but last year I wrote a grant through Ag in the Classroom and got the funds to buy the dirt and the squash, and we had cucumbers.
Mrs. Graves also secured funding for new kitchen appliances and remodeling 4 years ago.
Ms. Graves was a former student of mine. So to see her grow up and become such a superstar has been really fun for me. And she teaches a course that students realize that it's going to be beneficial to them in the future.
They motivate me to get up and do this job every day because I truly care for each and every one of them.
Parents say one teacher in Meridianville has a special gift with students with special needs. They say she goes above and beyond. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher, Lynn Fanning Elementary School's Amanda Rowan.
Do you want to sit or do you want to get down?
Sit.
You want to sit? Do you like sitting? This is my 15th year of teaching, my 2nd year in Madison County.
Special education instructor Amanda Rowan says a close friend of hers led her to her calling.
I actually had a friend in high school who had special needs, and that kind of persuaded me to go into the special education field. And then I kind of chose to do with the younger elementary age students, just from over the years of preference.
Rowan says what compels her to come in to teach every day are the small victories.
I love seeing just the little progress. You know, in special ed, we have to look for those little moments. We don't always get to see like the big wins every day, but those little wins are so important to seeing just big progress overall.
And Rowan says there are challenges along the way.
You know, every day that we're working through, as we're working through social skills and them learning, you know, what is okay school behavior, what school behaviors we need to work through. You want more? A lot of our students are nonverbal, and so we're working on just helping them be able to communicate with us and be able to tell us what they need and what they know and find ways for them to communicate. Every student deserves to learn, and students deserve to have teachers that are passionate and are willing to fight for them and for their, you know, their rights and needs in the education field.
We know how music unites us, and one band director from Buckhorn Middle School's goal is harmony, both literally and figuratively, among his students. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher, Josh Williams.
How about let's just, because we know it's nice and gentle, let's go back to that warm-up we were doing, okay? All right? Watching me. 1, 2, 3, and...
For Buckhorn Middle School's band director, Josh Williams.
Band is unique. It's a collection of students from all different backgrounds, and they're working together for a common goal.
This is Williams' 5th year at Buckhorn and 14th year teaching.
I like working with students. I like trying to make that impact with young people. In middle school and high school, I was in band, and I realized how much of a passion I have for that.
That passion now passed down to the next generation of musicians.
I think music is important to the students. It gives them a chance to express themselves in ways they don't normally get to in other classrooms.
And Williams believes these lessons are bigger than the band.
What motivates me the most is just seeing their success they have as not just in band but as individuals. We get to see their growth as they come in every single day.
Mr. Williams is an amazing teacher. I mean, he's able to relate to his students. He can take those hard kids and turn them into simple musical geniuses. So he's an amazing teacher. He's one of the best that we have.
Williams' aspirations 10 years from now.
I would hope to see myself still teaching. I love this community, so I'm hoping I'm still at Buckhorn working with these students. We've had so much growth in our band program.
One teacher in Russellville considers herself a late bloomer, but it is never too late to cultivate the next crop of educated students. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher from Tharptown Elementary School, Miss Katina Petrie.
Meet Katina Petrie.
When you get up in the mornings,
she's taught for 9 years.
You can turn on the TV and you can watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
All in the first grade.
I waited till my youngest child started kindergarten, and then I went back to school and got my teaching degree.
Petrie says in her 9 years, she's taught at a few other schools, but says her heart is here.
I feel like that I need to stay here and help our community grow and help these kids be, good citizens for our community.
In fact, she's a product of Tharptown Elementary School.
I was here, I was part of the first kindergarten class at this school a long time ago.
But for Petrie, teaching comes with learning curves.
You have your good days and your bad days. Teaching during the pandemic, that was a little bit rough, but we survived. And just probably the things that maybe are added to our plates each year, gets a little bit stressful sometimes. But still at the end of the day, this is what I'm meant to do.
Her principal, Molly King, also believes teaching is what Petrie is meant to do.
Miss Petrie is amazing. Her heart and soul is here with these children and with this school, and she pours her heart and soul into them and into the school every day.
Even I think if I won the lottery,
Petrie says she'd still be here.
All in all, at the end of the day, it's about the kids. That's what we're here for.
One second grade teacher has the reputation for teaching with passion, so it's no surprise when we find out it was her dream to be one when she was once a child. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher from Whitesburg Elementary School, Anna Pruitt.
For second grade teacher Anna Pruitt, every year,
every group of kids is different.
And she believes it takes a different kind of approach to reach her students.
I know what makes them tick. I know when they get it. I know when they're struggling and they don't want to ask for help, which is always my main goal every year that I get new students.
So when they're not outside,
there's a lot of singing and dancing in my room. A lot of singing and dancing. We make songs to everything.
This is Pruitt's fourth year teaching, the onset of her teaching career defined by COVID.
I had kids in my classroom up until March, and the day the world shut down was really difficult. I didn't have them back in my room again. It was really challenging. Being virtual was not my favorite. It was a learning experience and a learning process for everybody, but for teachers, it was something that we were not prepared for.
But it didn't stop her to press past the pandemic and fulfill her lifelong dream.
I've always wanted to be a teacher, ever since I was a small child. Before that, I wanted to work at a grocery store. That was what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to type on the keyboard and wear those long press-on nails, but God had other plans, and he was like, hey, you're gonna love kids for your entire life, and you're gonna be a teacher.
Thank you, Ms. Pruitt. To nominate a teacher, head on over to fox54.com.